Nathan, do you know what this is?
This is the 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
And do you know where we are at?
We are in sunny Texas.
That's right, Jeep flew us down here to test drive the new Grand Cherokee. And best of all, we know what this thing's like on road.
Yeah, we do, but now we get to take it off-road.
Coming up next on the Fast Lane Car. Nathan, there's a lot of Grand Cherokees behind us, but that's because there are a lot of models. In fact, there are now 5 distinct models of Grand Cherokee.
That's right, with 4 different engines.
What are the engines?
You have the regular V6 Pentastar, you have the brand new V6 diesel, you have the V8 Hemi, and then you have the big honkin' 6.4 liter V8 Hemi and the SRT.
Now the regular models start at about $30,000 with the Laredo, and they go all the way up to $55,000 if you want the top-of-the-line new Summit Grand Cherokee. And of course, Nathan's favorite,
the SRT, which starts around $65,000.
Yeah, that's the expensive one, but today it's all about these guys. Nathan, Jeep was nice enough to set up a relatively challenging off-road course. So my question, of course, is how come you always get to drive?
Because we all know that Nathan is all about off-roading. And besides, you got to go to, what was it, friggin' Arizona in a Rover or something like that? I'm sorry, I forgot about all that, didn't you? Oh yeah, you did! That's why I'm here doing this.
But that would give me the experience and the product knowledge to be able to judge this compared to
well, you actually could judge it. Yeah, that's true. But you know what? They're in such different leagues. They're very different vehicles.
Yes, this one that we're in right now is actually cool because it's the diesel.
It is.
And it's the Overland diesel, and this is what's staggering. You know, the most expensive Range Rover you can get is $130,000. That's the autobiography.
Okay.
How much do you think this car cost? It's a Grand Cherokee. Take a guess.
Okay, with the diesel?
Yeah, with the diesel.
$45,000, fully loaded.
No, my friend. $54,180 plus there's a $900 plus destination charge. So we are in a $55,000 car. Just, you know, an FYI while you're bashing through the tundra here. Now we've got a brand new 2014 Grand Cherokee. It just seems like we had a brand new Grand Cherokee 2 years ago. So why have you changed it so quickly, and what are some of the changes that you've made?
We changed it so quickly because it's a very dynamic, competitive landscape. A lot of people doing a lot of different things in different areas. We want to make sure we stayed on the front edge of that. And the things we really looked at fall into some specific camps. So talk about fuel economy. Fuel economy is extremely important. So we went after that with 8 speeds on all of our products. A Pentastar engine giving us 25 miles per gallon. That's a 2 mile per gallon improvement over the exit car. The Hemi 5.7. We've got improvements in fuel economy there. And then our diesel, that's the biggest piece of the fuel economy puzzle here, getting a best-in-class claim with the diesel and the 8-speed at 30 miles per gallon.
On the highway?
On the highway, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. And I think you have over 700 miles of range, is that right?
Yeah, with just over 24.5 gallon tank, that gives you about 730 miles of range.
One of the biggest differences with the 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee are these Audi-like headlights. They're bold and different, kind of squared off, makes for a unique front end.
Hey Nathan, there are 5 different models. What makes them, well, different from each other? They all look the same to me.
Yeah, they actually did add some small tidbits here and there in the front end design, with the grille and even the bumper to differentiate between the 5 different models.
Yeah. Just keep that in mind. This is $55,000 of American Jeep.
Okay, I guess what you're paying for is, you know, the really nice seats, the wood.
And the diesel engine, of course.
The diesel engine is a premium, but I think that's, you know,
$2,000 premium plus.
I would, but 420 pound-feet of torque. Oh, that is a lot of torque. And that's the thing about diesels. Look, and it's bouncing around, I know, okay, folks, that's what happens. But in terms of effort, I'm at about 1,200 RPM, and I'm going up the hill. These guys in front of me with the Hemi, they're probably at about 4,500 RPM trying to do the same exact thing. There's no effort necessary with that much torque. Love it.
Me thinks you exaggerate, but you're right. It is all about torque. And of course, it's all about ground clearance. And with this one, you get the air suspension, which, by the way, can go up to 11 inches.
11 inches, which is the same height as your average Wrangler off-road.
Yeah. So there's plenty of roadworthy, off-road worthiness here. I've also noticed that on these models, they've taken off that front air dam where you have the little sensor for the adaptive cruise control, because the approach angle with that thing on would be horrendous and we'd be smashing them.
We have the LED DRL lamps. We have HID projectors, and we've brought in adaptive lighting on the Summit model and the SRT models. So really to bring some of the technology in. The whole grille and light section, it's a little bit shorter aspect, shorter and a little bit wider to give it a little more aspect, make the car look a little bit wider, more planted.
And interiors are new too. I mean, you've got a new display, gauge cluster that now I noticed is half analog and half electronic. Is that because that's where the world is going? Why'd you go electronic?
The vehicle is so sophisticated and doing so many things for you. We really needed this nice larger screen. I called it internally, they would put the flat screen in the car. So 7-inch TFT display and a lot of different functions you can see there. Detailed page on fuel economy, very important to folks, so they can see their instantaneous and average.
Howdy, partners! Good space in the back when you're loading things, but the overall height is kind of low. That's what you get when you want this type of tapered roof. But check this out. All in all, utility is pretty good, and rear passenger space is acceptable. And check this out. It can recline. Ta-da!
Are those seats heated, Nathan?
Yeah, that's an option, but here's the thing. They're a little tight, like, in terms of material, it feels like you're on something kind of stiff. Good for kids, though.
Now the other fun thing, and that's not on this model, but it's on the V8s, is that not only do you have hill descent control, which basically allows the car to crawl down a hill at like 3 to 5 kilometers per hour, but for the first time you have hill ascent control, which lets you, well, if you need to plow your roof, I suppose.
Hill ascent control, you can go 2 kilometers an hour up a hill, up a really steep hill. We took a 50-degree hill, and we didn't have to touch anything. You don't touch the accelerator, you don't touch the brake, you just go, you steer. That's all you do.
You know, at first blush, it sounds like one of those things that's kind of stupid, but it's like a heated steering wheel. Once you have it, you want it.
You really like it.
Yeah. How steep is this?
Sir.
How steep is this, you know?
I don't know. Back to your left.
Oh, that wasn't very helpful, was it, Nathan?
It's okay. he's just paying attention to me to make sure I don't croak.
Now, Nathan, we are hanging on by our seatbelts. I would say this angle is what?
They say up to 50 degrees.
Yeah, it's pretty steep. You feeling nervous at all?
Not really.
No?
Not really. I mean, I'm in hill descent control.
Yeah.
I hate using hill descent control, to be honest with you. But quite frankly,
the Jeep's doing all the work?
It's just doing all the work. All I'm doing is steering. I'm watching the guy below me, and yeah, it's just no problem. Ain't no thing.
Dude, you look like you're hanging on for dear life.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like a scared kitten trying to cling on to the edge of a watery bathtub.
I don't think you could stand on this hill. Really, you'd have a hard time standing on this steep part of it.
That's why I ride in a Jeep.
Yeah, okay, here comes the bottom, and it looks like we're gonna just crash into it.
Nope, no problem. Touchdown. Easy enough.
There we go.
Easy peasy.
Now Jeep says that the new Grand Cherokee competes with cars like the BMW X5, the Honda Pilot, and the one you can't see because somebody's driving it, the Explorer. Now I think that probably the Explorer is the most likely to be cross-shop because the BMW X5, which by the way I just drove, is a completely different beast. First of all, it's not great off-road. Secondly, it feels very different from the Jeep. This car has a classic European feel. I mean, it feels like it's been designed in Bavaria, where it has. The Jeep, very isolated, very insulated. This, a lot of road feel, a lot of communication coming through the steering wheel. That's not saying it's better. It's just very different. I'm not sure that I would cross-shop the two.
People will cross-shop the Explorer versus the Jeep Grand Cherokee. But here's the thing. The Explorer has 3 rows of seats. That's standard. The Grand Cherokee? No, it doesn't. But off-road, this can go and do some basic things. It's pretty good in snow. But the Grand Cherokee is really what you want for off-road. They're different vehicles, but I think you can actually cross-shop them as long as you don't care about the 3rd row seat.
And then what we really found when we launched the Grand Cherokee, the 11 model, is people really after the Overland model. They really love the premium aspect of the vehicle. They're trading in high-end European imports and coming into that model. And we just decided to give them more and more of that, and that's why we added the Summit model, which is providing some features never seen before in Jeep.
And only 2 options, right? A CD player, and what's the other one?
The rear entertainment system. Yep, everything outside of that, it's all loaded.
So at $50,000, which is what a Summit can go for,
yes,
you're competing with cars like the Germans, the BMW X5 potentially, the Audi Q5, the Mercedes ML. And so are you seeing people trade in these cars for a Grand Cherokee?
We do. The rate of those buyers coming in, basically our conquest rate, is it's more than doubled since the previous generation.
All right, there can be little doubt that this Grand Cherokee is one of the most off-road capable vehicles that you can buy today, and there are very few cars that directly compete with it. Maybe the Ford Explorer, maybe the LR4, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. There are a few niggles. First of all, on the highway, the steering is a little numb. The back seats especially are a little rough, more for small kids than for adults. But as an overall package, it's hard to combine this Jeep's ability to go off-road with its comfortable highway cruising and its over 7,000 pound towing capacity. Do you think that owners will do this kind of thing?
You know, I'm guessing that 50% of the owners won't even touch dirt, and then out of that 50% that might touch a little bit of dirt, only about 10% of them will do some serious off-roading. But with that said, and Jeep has said it before, it doesn't matter whether or not owners to go off-road. Okay, what matters is they're able to go off-road. That's the thing about Jeep. You know you can do it.
Or more importantly, owners want to be able to do it, whether they do it or not, and that goes into their buying decision, right?
Absolutely.
It's like one of these things when, you know, you're preparing for doomsday, then you have a vehicle that is capable of taking you to your bug out location. The fact is, it's great in the snow, it's great in the dirt, and whether you're going to go up a 50-degree hill, well, that's kind of immaterial. There's a lot of room in the back, which is odd. So if you're bringing in, oh, I don't know, your wolfhound, yeah, your Irish wolfhound, it'll fit back there. But if you're in the back seats, the 2nd row, it's kind of cramped. The other thing I would say is, obviously they've kind of tweaked the look of it. It's, you know, the same footprint, so they haven't done a drastic remodel. But they have made it kind of more rounded. They made it look, I would say, more European with those LED headlights. You said it was Audi-like, and I agree.
Yeah, they do look a lot like they're from the Audi. And you know what? It's not such a bad thing. It's kind of nice to have daytime driving lights to begin with. And off-road, it's certainly a benefit. But, you know, everything in this world is a little bit gimmicky, and that definitely is one thing. But I'll give it up to Jeep. They didn't lose the essence of what the Grand Cherokee is all about, and that's what's important.
You know, I don't think it's as gimmicky as it is smart, because what will happen is if you've got the old model and you see the new one with those really bright LEDs coming at you, your model has just instantaneously become old.
Yeah, you are now insignificant and you must buy the new one. Whoa, that was a good bump.
And we have yet to take this off-road in Colorado, so it wouldn't be fair to give it a buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it. But in essence, it's the same Jeep that we've tested. As always, this is Roman.
And Nathan.
About to go up a big ruddy hill. Saying, thanks for watching, and don't forget, subscribe for a new car video
every day.
See you next time. Ciao. Four different models of Grand Cherokee, but this is the only new one. And that is because it has a diesel. Tell me about it, Nathan.
Most importantly, 420 pound-feet of torque, and it's all coming out of a tiny 3-liter diesel.
Dude, wait, is that more than the Hemi?
Yes, the Hemi puts out 390 pound-feet of torque, so this thing spanks it. And just as importantly, off-road, torque is king.
And it goes over 700 miles on a tank full.
That's right, the rear-wheel drive version gets 30 miles per gallon on the highway. Okay, I'm in sport mode. Zero to 60. Let's see what this diesel can do, baby.